morning, everybody. Welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around, and today is the best town around for seniors, right here in Woodbridge Township. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor. I hope you already know that. But we're here today for the Senior Summit, the annual Senior Summit, which we think is one of the best days in Woodbridge Township during the course of any year because of everything that is available for you today. If you walk around that building, this building, up and down the aisles and see all the different resources and programs and people that are here from federal and county and state and local levels and all levels of government, all kinds of private sectors, all kinds of social service agencies, all here to let you know what they have available to you. But I got to tell you one change I'm already making for next year, and some of you are not going to like it. We're going to have to check IDs. I'm sick and tired of people coming to the Senior Summit who are not seniors. I'm sick of it. All this money we spend is for our senior citizens 65 and up, maybe 60 and up, 60 and up. And some of you don't belong here. You should be home with your families. You should be walking the track. You should be exercising. You should not be at the Senior Summit. But we're not going to embarrass anybody, and we're not going to ask you to leave. But next year, there'll be police officers at the door. They're going to have those scanners. I know some of you have fake licenses because you go to senior events all over the state. We're going to catch you and prosecute you. So get all your tchotchkes now. It's over for you. You're done. And by the way, there's so much here. There's so many tchotchkes here. So I got 2 for me. I don't know about you, but I love these things for your vitamins. I love them. I can't be putting, 8 different vitamins in it every morning. It's impossible. And especially, I love something that I've always wanted to have, but I never quite got around to buying one. But the back scratcher, I can't wait to use this. I'm going to leave it at my desk. I've been looking for one of these for a long time, and I'm thrilled. So, no matter what you take today, and take all you want, there's 2 things you have to take home with you. One is this amazing Woodbridge Township Senior Services Directory. This book it's so thick, it's so full of everything you could possibly need to know and where to go to get help. It's an unbelievable resource. I don't know any other town that has something like this. I'm surprised other towns don't come and take them and make their own with a different cover and just use everything. Make sure you take this home. It's got everything you possibly could have. And now one thing that's a little bit smaller and easier to use, and I know a lot of you have been asking about it, the 2026 Concert Series book. I know you're waiting for this. And it's been late because we set the whole schedule. We were done in February. We worked hard to get everything booked. And then when we sent the tax forms out, one band refused to give us their tax ID, so we said, we can't hire you. And we couldn't replace them right away, but the books had to be printed, so you'll see something that says TBD on a Thursday. Every other show is here. And most of you like the Mondays, which is the 50s and 60s, the doo-wops. We got the same bands, we got new bands. We replace a couple every year, every night, and rotate a little bit, but a lot of the standard bands are here. This year we have a great Johnny Maestro tribute band that we haven't had in a long time. So pick up this concert schedule and make sure you keep it so you know everything that we have going on. So now, before I introduce the whole dais, I want to introduce the young lady who's responsible for putting this together, and that is the head of our Department of Senior Services, Michelle Morgan. I'd like to ask her to come up now and say a few words.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? If you've heard me speak, you know I can speak really loud, with or without a microphone. So good morning everyone, and welcome to the 5th Annual Mayor's Senior Summit here in Woodbridge Township, beautiful Woodbridge Township. It is wonderful to see so many older adults, caregivers, families, professionals, community leaders, and exhibitors gathered together today. Each year, this summit grows in attendance, energy, and impact, and that growth reflects something very important. the tremendous commitment that Woodbridge Township has to supporting and valuing its senior community. As Director of Senior Services, it is truly an honor and a privilege to stand before you today during Older Americans Month, which in my opinion is the best month of the year. The purple says everything. It is a month filled with wisdom, resilience, compassion, strength, beauty, and extraordinary older adults. Adults who have shaped our families and our neighborhoods and our communities. All of you represent generations of experience, sacrifice, and perseverance. This year, for 2026, the Older Americans Month theme is Champion Your Health, which focuses on prevention and wellness. And that is exactly why we are gathered here today. Today's about education, empowerment, partnership, and community. We are surrounded approximately with 60 exhibitors and organizations dedicated to serving older adults through various healthcare, wellness, housing, caregiving, transportation, financial assistance programs, advocacy, and community support. So to every exhibitor here today, thank you. This summit would not exist without your partnership and collaboration and the loyalty to the older adults in Woodbridge Township. And the continued return of all of our exhibitors and so many agencies year after year speaks of the volume about the relationship that we have built between our services and the trust that we share with the mission to serve older adults. So please join me in giving a hand to all of our tremendous exhibitors, my colleagues behind me, and all of our exhibitors. I also would like to recognize the outstanding team here at Woodbridge Community Center for their professionalism and their hospitality and their hard work to create the comfort and excellence that Woodbridge Township is known for. Of course, none of this would be possible without the extraordinary leadership and unwavering support of our Mayor, John McCormick. Mayor McCormick has always demonstrated a genuine love, respect, and deep commitment to the senior residents of Woodbridge Township. His support of our department and the health department, of all the senior services that we provide, is not simply administrative. It is personal and heartfelt. He understands the importance of investing in services that support dignity, independence, and quality of life for older adults and families. Because of his leadership and vision, Woodbridge Township continues to prioritize and strengthen the services that are so dear to his heart. Our social work division, our senior transportation division, and our senior center division. He recognizes that these are not simple programs, they are lifelines. Our social work division supports older adults and families through some of life's most difficult times. We help them navigate caregiving issues, emotional struggles, housing concerns, grief, and crisis. Our senior centers create opportunities for connection, friendship, purpose, and community every single day. And our senior transportation, they preserve independence by ensuring that residents can access medical appointments, grocery shopping, and a slew of community activities in our senior centers. I would like to thank our Business Administrator, Casey Wagner, and our Deputy Business Administrator, Patrick Muller, for their continued support. And while I stand here before you today, no meaningful work is ever accomplished alone. I would especially like to recognize Allison Cohen. She is the division head of our Social Work Division on Aging. She has been instrumental in helping make this summit a tremendous success. And as my counterpart within the Division on Aging, she played an important part in helping coordinate this event and the continued development of the 5th edition of that Senior Services Directory, which was the mayor's idea, and then we ran with it. This directory represents far more than a collection of phone numbers and resources. It reflects years of professional relationships, outreach, advocacy, collaboration, and network within the aging services field. I would like to recognize our outstanding social work staff, Julie Hackler, Melissa, Kristen, Colette, and Angela. Their professional knowledge and the community partnership and the resources helped to create this wonderful senior services directory. It truly reflects the services available to all of you at the local level, county level, state, and federal. I would also like to recognize my administrative assistant, Renee. She's organized, and she's dedicated, and she's professional, and she keeps our services moving forward. I want to thank my husband, Ray. He's attending every single event that we have with senior services, and so I am grateful for his constant encouragement. And I have worked for the Woodbridge Township for over 20 years as a social worker, as a division head, and as a director. And it is one of the most meaningful parts of today for me personally to see so many families, and I see clients that I've worked with, and it's nice to see all of you, and it is a privilege to help you throughout your life circumstances and in my professional career. It is very rewarding, part of my work. Social work with older adults is deeply personal work. You build relationships along families. We walk with you through those hard paths. Over time, those relationships become part of your heart. And that is why this work has never simply been my profession. It has been truly my life's purpose and privilege. More than 11,000 Americans turn 65 every single day. The need for trusted programs and partnerships. So at this time, it is my great honor and privilege to introduce a man whose leadership, compassion, and unwavering support for older adults continue to make Woodbridge Township a place where seniors feel valued, respected, and cared for. A round of applause for our great Mayor McCormick.
Thank you very much, Michelle. You already heard Michelle introduce Allison. Let's hear for Allison. You've heard her introduce Renee. All the way to my right is the head of our Health and Human Services Department. We stole him from Middlesex County, David Kolodzinsky. In the back, we have 3 of our 5 social workers. We have Angela, who was an intern with us in college, loved it so much, we hired her, and she was so good that we hired her full-time. Next to her is Kristen, next to her is Melissa. We're also missing Julie and Colette. To their left is the head of our senior transportation, Diane Mantegas. Behind me, well, let's go this way. We have the head of our senior centers, Cynthia Ruzich. Our Oak Tree Senior Center Coordinator, Bhumika, otherwise known as Bhumi Patel. Our Maple Tree Senior Center Coordinator, Henry, otherwise known as Hank Heidacker. Our Hickory Senior Center Coordinator, Elizabeth, otherwise known as Liz Cowan. Our Sycamore Senior Center Coordinator, Danielle, otherwise known by names I can't repeat, Danielle Balint. Our Evergreen Senior Center Coordinator, Iris, otherwise known as Iris Sigowski. Wow. And our newest coordinator in 5 branches, Melissa, otherwise known as Melissa Nordstrom. And I think that covers everybody. Back there, we have our 4th Ward Councilman, Viru Patel. We have our Middlesex County Clerk, Nancy Pinkin. And I'm going to introduce now our Middlesex County Surrogate, Clarabelle Cortez, and ask her to say a couple of words. And this is very important that she's here. The Surrogate's office is a place that many times you don't ever want to have to use, because you go there for wills and estates and those kind of things that are not always pleasant to deal with. And that's why having people in that office, that position, that are compassionate and understanding is so very important. For a couple of years after COVID, we didn't have the Surrogate's office anymore. It came back several weeks ago. I'm going to let Clarabelle explain when and where and how everything works, but we're thrilled to have a Middlesex County Surrogate's office on a part-time basis back in Woodbridge Township. Ladies and gentlemen, Clarabelle Cortez.
Thank you, Mayor. Can you guys hear me? Hi, good morning and good afternoon. My name is Clarabelle Cortez. I'm the Middlesex County Surrogate. I'll be very brief because we have other speakers, but we have a booth here as well. We could go ahead and give you more information. And we are here every other Wednesday. Our office handles wills and estates and also guardianships. And if you have any questions, we'll be more than happy to assist you. And if you want also, we have a living will kit that can give you more information. I always tell everyone you need a will. If you love your family, make sure you have your information and everything in order. If you don't like them, don't do anything at all. That's, as simple as that. But we are here to assist you. We have a great team that is here every other Wednesday, and we also have an office in New Brunswick. Thank you.
That is officially the shortest speech by an elected official in township history. While you're here, folks, take a look around the community center. This is a wonderful place. It's got a very inexpensive membership rate for seniors. You can just come in and walk the track. You can just come in and work on machines. You can just come in and stretch. You can just do whatever you want. You can play mahjong. You can do all kinds of different things here. It's a very, very inexpensive membership. We also have a little more advanced one across the street at the club at Woodbridge. And then two programs I want to make sure I mention. One we just wrapped up this year, which was tooling around the town. We had 18 homes of seniors, usually elderly widows who can't do work themselves, don't have anybody in the house to do work, don't have the resources to pay to get work done. So we started this program. Actually, Carol and I started this back in the 90s, in 1999, when she was on the council and I was the CFO of the town. And the idea was brought to us by the head of the housing authority, who did this similar program where she worked in a prior housing authority. And it's phenomenal. We just did over 2 weekends because of the weather. We did it over 2. And so much got done by companies from town, companies that do business in town. They come out with experts, some cases very technical experts that are carpenters, plumbers, electricians. Sometimes it's just painters and landscapers and things like that. But if you qualify, it's a great way to get work done in your house. We also have Tommy Toolbox. I don't know if Al stayed, but Tommy Toolbox is a miniature shrunken version of tooling around the town. He does odd jobs for people, again, in need. We all know that it's difficult to find handymen. I had 4 requests today for Tommy Toolbox. He already has a list when he goes back to get going in the next month or so. But don't be afraid to ask for help from Tommy Toolbox. Somebody just wanted some bathroom fixtures rehung or something like that because they weren't safe. And those are the things he can do. Railings, small paint jobs, easy things that you can't do, that you need help doing, and you can't afford to pay somebody to come in and do them because that gets a little expensive. So please take advantage of tooling around the town, which will be next April, and take advantage of Tommy Toolbox. Just call the mayor's office, call anybody in the town council, call any senior center, everybody. It's all in the booklet. So just let us know. We'd be happy to help you. Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the Speaker of the New Jersey General Assembly, a man who's been elected to that position a state record 5 times. Now think about that, a state record. We go back a long time, New Jersey, 250 some odd years. Never before has anybody been elected, only once has anybody been elected to this position 2 times. That was a guy in Salem County many, many years ago. Never before has anybody been elected by his peers, by Democrats and Republicans alike, unanimously, to serve as the Speaker of the General Assembly 3 times. He got elected once, well, he got elected 4 times, and then the 5th time he became the Speaker, got it again, got it again, got it again, and just recently got it again. So he's on his 9th term, but his 5th term as the Speaker of the New Jersey Assembly. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend Craig Coughlin, an advocate for you in Trenton.
Thank you, Mill. Let's hear it for our extraordinary mayor. Morgan was right. John McCormick is a tremendous leader. By the way, there's not just things to do here and today. That we have music which will begin pretty soon, right? A couple of weeks or so. And there's one every day. Anybody who tells you there's nothing to do in Woodbridge isn't trying. They're not looking around. But I want to thank everybody for coming here. I want to thank the mayor, and I want to thank the council, and I want to thank the leadership of the senior departments who have put this together. The turnout is remarkable. And so, while I'm not going to be shorter than Clarabelle, I'm not really sure they can be, I am going to try to make sure that I'm here to tell you all the good reasons why that we're doing in the state to try to make sure you get to stay here, and that you have a life that is filled with the opportunity to go out and enjoy this incredible community and the things that this great state has to offer. You know, we have worked really hard to make sure, and I'm very proud of the work that we have done in Trenton, to make sure that we're standing up for the thing that is number one on everybody's list: property taxes. Property taxes are something that has, you know, there's a myth that people are leaving the state of New Jersey. It's not true. Actually, we're the only state in the region with a growing population. But people who are leaving are senior citizens. And too often, that's because of property taxes. It becomes expensive to stay here, and but we need to keep you here. I do a lot of stuff, many of you know, we're food pantries and stuff, do a lot of stuff around fight against food insecurity. And wherever I go, I see volunteers, almost always they're senior citizens. They're senior citizens who volunteer to help students. There are senior citizens who help with the Historical Society. There are senior citizens who volunteer at all levels of their municipal government because they love where they live. You help build this community into the great place that it is, and you want to stay here. Now, I have 3 incredible grandchildren, and I have hours of video. We'll see it right after I'm done speaking. For I know how important it is to be in their lives. And that most of us, that was the thing we had going for us in New Jersey for a long time. Our grandkids were here. Nobody wanted to leave. And by the way, you play an important role in helping your children face the challenge of the cost of childcare. We all know that that's really expensive. So what we've done is we've made a really robust property tax plan. Most of you are probably familiar with senior freeze. That's been around for a long time. Homestead rebate, you may have recalled, but that's now been replaced by 2 things. One is Anchor. Anchor is a plan that we developed a long time ago, for several years ago, and we put it on to help everyone who's a homeowner reduce their property taxes. You're eligible for a rebate on those kind of things. Even if you're a renter, you're entitled to a rebate there. The newest plan is one I'm real proud of because it's mine, is called the Stay NJ. And with the great help of John McCormick, who is one of the great minds in this state of New Jersey, in addition to being a wonderful leader and a tremendous mayor, helped put together a plan. So we could help seniors stay right here in New Jersey. And what it does, it's designed to cut your property taxes in half. Unless you make, anybody here make more than $500,000 a year? Because I'm going to disappoint you, you're not eligible. But for everyone else, you are. If you own a home, you can fill out your application, and your property taxes will be cut in half up to $6,500. If it's above that, you're not going to get it. So the fight is on to try and keep that. The governor has proposed some changes in that. We haven't finished having our conversation about that. So we're going to work on making sure that we keep that in place. But one of the things you have to do is make sure you apply for it. Now, we've done some other things too around PAD benefits, around senior goals, so I urge you to make sure you're checking into those to make sure you get all the advantages, just like the book that the township has for senior services. We have that same kind of book for the state. And Mayor, I can tell you why other towns don't come and just take your book and put their name on the cover. It's because theirs is really a pamphlet, and yours is a book. Because that's what Woodbridge does. It cares about the people here, and they do have an extraordinary amount of services. But make sure you have to, many of you anybody familiar with what is referred to generally as the Blue Book? Yeah, you fill it out every year, and it helps you get these things. Because of the mayor's leadership, we're able to do that with one application. And the state will help you, will decide which is the best, most advantageous for you. So make sure you do that. It's this time of the year. You can apply into November, but we need you to get it done right now, because this is when you're doing your taxes, you're thinking about those kind of things. Make sure you're taking advantage of all of these property tax programs that are here to help you. And remember, Anchor applies to renters as well. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. We want you to stay here in New Jersey. We want you to continue to contribute to the communities that you built, surrounded by the people you love and care for. And we want you to have some fun doing it. So if I can I'm an Irish guy. I like having fun. If I can put a couple of bucks back in your pocket and you go out and raise some hell, that's pretty good. So we're working hard to try and do that. I want you to all make sure that you take advantage of it. So thank you all for letting me be here. I don't want to keep you from getting your back scratcher. I am going to beat you to that. I've always wanted one of those myself. So I'm going to drop the mic and run now. So I'm standing between you and all the tchotchke stuff, so go get it. I don't even care if you're under 65. I'm not with the mayor. I'm not going to enforce that. By the way, we will be checking people's hair color too, just so remember. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming. Thanks for letting me be with you. Get out. Make sure you do that. Call my office. We're right down by the Barron Arts Center. You need some help. Thanks, Mayor.
Okay, the last person I want to introduce, she's not going to speak, but I mentioned her before. The young lady to my left is Carolyn Ehrlich, somebody who's been my bestie since 1996 when she, as I said, joined the town council. When Jim McGreevy was mayor, I was already the town chief financial officer working for the town, and we started doing a whole bunch of things together, including building the beautiful Merrill Park playground and working on all kinds of projects. We mentioned Christmas in April was one of them, now tooling around. It was her idea to make April Youth Month in town. It was her idea to make May Senior Month in town and to focus on everybody, all seniors this month, is like we do all year anyway. But I can assure you that any accolades I get, I share, because if I do it, it's because we talked about it. And because she sometimes doesn't agree, sometimes I do it anyway. But I can assure you that everything we do in town runs through Carolyn Ehrlich as the chief of staff, which is one of the most important positions to anybody in elected office, to have somebody by your side, and we literally share an office, so she's always by my side. But I can assure you that if anything we do that works, doesn't work, whatever, it's all run through Carol, and she deserves a great deal of credit for everything that happens in town. So you thank me, but also thank her. And now, I see a lot of lonely exhibitors out there. They're waiting for you to go and see them and pick up whatever you want. If you have questions, we're all going to hang around for a while, so please enjoy the rest of the day and watch your calendar for Senior Month. There's a whole bunch of great things going on in town this month like there is the other 11 months. So thank you all very much.